Hello, and welcome to this PERL Eco Explainer on carbon credits. Today, we want to help educate the PERL community about the many features of carbon markets leading up to the launch of PCX Exchange. In this video, we'll start with the basics and discuss what carbon credits are, the difference between the voluntary and compliance markets for carbon credits, and how the voluntary carbon sector is likely to grow. So, let's start at the beginning and answer the big question. What are carbon credits? Simply put, carbon credits are a type of market-based mechanism used to incentivize reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. These credits represent 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide, or its equivalent in other greenhouse gases, that has been reduced, avoided, or removed from the atmosphere. Now let's talk about the two main types of carbon markets, the voluntary market and the compliance market. The compliance market is where companies or organizations are required by law to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. They do this by purchasing carbon credits to offset their emissions. On the other hand, the voluntary market is where companies or individuals purchase carbon credits on a voluntary basis to offset their own carbon footprint or to support environmental projects. So what's the difference between the two markets? The compliance market is mandatory, while the voluntary market is optional. However, the voluntary carbon market is becoming more and more vital to companies in their transition to carbon-neutral operations due to the public's significant concerns over the impact of human-made climate change. Now let's talk about the growth of the voluntary carbon sector. The voluntary carbon market has been growing steadily over the past decade. In fact, the market grew by 6% in 2020 alone, despite the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. One reason for this growth is increased awareness of climate change and the importance of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Consumers are increasingly demanding that companies take action to reduce their carbon footprint, and companies are responding by purchasing carbon credits to offset their emissions. Another reason for the growth of the voluntary carbon market is the increasing availability of high-quality carbon credits. In the past, there were concerns about the integrity of some carbon credits, but now there are a number of reputable certification schemes that ensure the quality of carbon credits. Finally, the voluntary carbon market is likely to grow as governments around the world implement policies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Many of these policies will create new opportunities for carbon offset projects, which will in turn drive demand for carbon credits. In fact, a 2023 report by consulting group BGC estimates that the voluntary carbon sector could grow in value from its current $2 billion valuation to anywhere from $10 billion to $40 billion by 2030. To sum up, the voluntary carbon markets are experiencing steady growth as public pressure over climate change is challenging companies to reduce their carbon footprints and transition to carbon-neutral operations. In future videos, we will take a deeper look at different aspects of the carbon markets to educate and grow our community. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to turn on your notifications for future content. Thank you for watching and being part of the PERL community, where the rails between DeFi and ReFi are always seeking solutions in the fight against climate change.